Hello and welcome to Gravesend Australia Diecast Salvage. Videos on this channel is directed to the adult community as it contains strippers, so good it'll take the paint off diecast vehicles, nudity of paint stripped diecast vehicles, and a man playing with his tools. Adult supervision advised for those under 16 years in age. So come along, enjoy what's coming up. Well, we have a couple of return vehicles from previous restorations. We have the Dinky VW 1600 TLs. They've asked us to help out their friend, the VW 1600 Variant from Marklin. And it used to be what they call an ADAC vehicle, which is the German Road Association. Like here in Australia, we have the NRMA that will help motorists from being stuck on the road. We'll get rid of the trailer. So our boys at Dinky VW, they're going to come and watch what we do with their counterpart in the station wagons. So they're just going to park up over here. And the NRMA will park up on the side of the road here. And as you can see, we have a new film crew from Disney Pixar. So what we'll do is we'll get the vehicle over to the VW workshop, and we shall have a closer look at it. Welcome to the workbench. Alright, the Marklin Volkswagen 1600 Variant. It has the ADAC sticker on the side. It has the number plate on the back. It has the sticker on the other side. It has the opening bonnet. It has opening doors. And as you saw, well, it does have a opening tailgate. It's not broken. It still has its pins. It's held in by the screen, which is loosened up a little bit. So we'll dismantle the vehicle. There was no glass on the rear door, but it doesn't say that we can't put one in. So we'll put that aside for the moment. Up the top there. Now there's no screws in this. This is, oh, forgot to mention. Well, forgot to show. I'll do that when the interior comes out. Waffling on. No screws in the base, so there's nothing to tap. How it's held in by the front bumper, which is broken on either side, so we'll need to fix that. And you just tease the... I'll try that again. I'll just stick it back in again. You just tease the bumper out. As you can see, it comes out there. Pull it out, and the base will come off. It's held in the back by these two tabs. It has a single spring So we'll front and rear. Are they the same length? That's a good question. They look about the same, so they should be interchangeable between the front and back. The base I think we can leave really good enough alone. There's no paint chips on it. The hubs on them, we can give them a bit of a touch up, just to clean the hubs up a bit. Same thing on those ones. So we'll take the tyres off. We'll do the hubs on there. We'll put that bumper up there to be fixed. Okay, now we come up to the rear. So from here, the rear bumper comes out by giving it a bit of a push. Give it a bit of English. There we go. So the rear bumpers come out. The rear bumper's in good order. The interior will come out. And as you can see, it has seats that, like the real car, that will go backwards and forwards. And the glass in this case just pops down. Now it does have a crack up here. That's probably why the tailgate keeps falling. So once we put this vehicle together, we'll make sure that is glued into place properly. Other than that, the screen seems to be in good order. Needs to be cleaned and polished up a bit. Now we come up to the front bumper. The front bonnet. And that may just slide out from inside. Let me get that out the way. Or do we need to take the doors off? Or do we need to open the doors? That might be a thing. We'll open the doors. And I hope you're all shouting at me. No, this is how you do it, this is how you do it. And okay, the doors will have to come off before you can get the bonnet out. The doors will need to come off, and the retainer that holds the doors in place will have to come out. So there's the doors out. Let's go a bit of a pull, and the retainer has come out, which is on the table here somewhere. I will find it. I will find it in a moment. I'll have to check where it went to. I'll have to check the video to see where it went to, but I will find it. Alright, no, there it is. Okay, it fell out to underneath the camera. There's the retainer. There's the bonnet. So we'll have to see if we can't find the decals for it. Or we go through the method as to how I've made some decals in the past. They have a good inside door cards on the inside, which is moulded into the door. Again, we'll we'll see if we can't get the decals, but we should be able to make one with using that decal there. Let's have a look at the other side, how bad it is. Well, this side we can't use it because of this part here has gone over it. Alright, so there's our vehicle. I know we've still got the beacon to try and get out. So just give me a moment. Let's see if we can get a proper tool. Always have the tools in the wrong place. So I might go a bit extreme, and wasn't that extreme at all. It's the beacon itself isn't plastic. It's cast, so we can give that a bit of a paint. There it is. So that needs to turn red. We'll get those pliers out the way, and we'll look for, and we have our parts container. What do we have for this one? We had the Asian style chicken and corn soup. That's what we had. So we don't lose the parts. We'll put the spring in there. We'll put the beacon in there. We'll put the interior in there. We'll put the screen in there. We'll put the base in there for now. We'll put the tyres in there. And we'll do the bumpers. So, okay. We have jeweled headlights in this. So, now usually VWs, especially in the age that this one's representing, which is the 60s, so they would have still had the 6-volt system, so you would have always had the sort of yellowish lights. But we're now 2021. We may upgrade the electrical system so we get some bright lights into this. But we'll see how we go about getting these out. And I'll do this off camera because I'm most likely going to lose them anyway. So we'll do that. I'll see if I can't make some attempt to start making some number plates for some of my cars, because they've all come back with no number plates. So we'll do that as well. Alright, we'll catch you in a moment. We'll see where we're up to. So before we do any stripping, you're going to have to wait for the strippers a little bit later. We'll just park the car and its parts just to one side, and we're going to see if we can't make the rest of this front bumper. Now what I'm using here is some of this product called Plastimake. I do have a video on it that was done previously, so we'll just put that in there, and we're going to use some of the strippers hot water. Let me just put that kit on the one side. So we're just waiting for the product to go translucent or clear, to which it has done. Don't know what that noise was, but there we go. We're to the stage where we can mould it to whatever we want. What we're wanting is something round, and we're just going to stretch it a little bit to get it round the side of the Sorry, we're off camera. So we'll just get it to back in the hot water again. So we can get the thing to stand up. There we go. So we'll just grab it out of the hot water. And we place it on the front. I want to get the curve. Let's take half of that. There we go. See what happens when you do things in front of the camera, like I've said a number of times. When you want something to stay, it won't stay. We'll just keep working this. So what we're wanting is approximately the thickness. That's where we're at. So now we can start moulding this a little bit, because what this will do is, once we're dried up a little bit, it'll firm up, and then we can cut off the bit that we don't need. So that's now taken the shape of the front there. Don't drop it and throw it away, because then we have to crawl on the floor to try and find it. That's getting our shape right there. And we'll just see how we're going for our thickness. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just put it in our hot water for the moment, again just to soften it up. Just need making it a little bit thinner. So we're going to use another Dinky just to make it a bit thinner. So we're now approximately at the right part there. Just need to go back to the bend again. Just straighten it out. So as you can see, we're not clear anymore, so that's starting to cool off. So just needs a little bit of management. Just to flatten it out a bit. Then we can move on to the next part. Alright, with that, the stuff does stick to the other plastic. That's the other piece I was looking for. Alright, so just letting that soften up again. And we bring it up and out. The water is hot because it's just boiling water. So again, we just give it a bit of a roll. You know, almost You can almost do it like plasticine if you like. Just need to get our little roller, make it a bit thinner. That's about right. So again, we just put it in, and we make our other bend. Alright, so okay, that was a bit quiet. So we have our bend. We just need to do some modifications again. We'll probably work on this second one a little bit more, and we'll come back when I've got the bumper ready. Catch you in a moment. Right, there's our bumper. Both sides been done. So we'll do a test fit on the vehicle itself. Get it in. Well, she's got a bit of a sad face at the moment, but we can fix that up. So the super glue just hasn't quite dried enough, maybe, or it has parted ways again. So anyway, we're almost there. Catch you in a moment. Alright, while we're waiting for the bumpers here to dry because they've been chromed up, we're going to use some of this Brasso metal polish, not a sponsor, to clean up our screen. And all we're going to do is, because the screen's not in too bad a condition, we will, sorry, off camera. Hopefully we're back on now. So we're just going to take the two ends and clean them up, inside and out. I'll try not to make a mistake on this like I did on the Subaru, in that give it too hard a pressure and break the screen or crack it. So just taking the minor scratches out without having to sand. Like on the front, we've got a couple of little bits here. If I can hold the camera in the right way, if it'll show up, I don't know. In any case, it's just a matter of... No, we didn't drop it on the floor, we only dropped it on the table. Of giving a bit of a clean on that side. And then doing on that side, so that we get a lot of the rubbish out, a lot of the old dirt out, is what I'm looking at, trying to do. So, like I said, we'll do the inside as well as the outside. Alright, so we'll pour the rest of what was left back into the chamber and clean out the threads, because otherwise it goes all crusty on us. It makes it all very difficult to open again. So I'll put that aside. we'll come back, we'll dip that into our polish. We're going to polish our screen with Mr. Sheen, not a sponsor. Just going to give it a spray inside first. We'll go on the outside. Don't need much as we tuck that away over there. Just give that a moment. As I try and find, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. Tip it over. Put that back that way. We'll let the Mr. Sheen do its magic, and we'll come back in a moment and we should see a nice clean polished screen. Alright, here we are 5 minutes later. Now what I've done is taken it, got a microfiber cloth, doesn't have to be this colour, it can be any colour. It's what I've done off camera was just give it a good rub down, and we get I think the same results as what you do with dunking it into the floor polish. Like other people use the pledge, that's fine, nothing wrong with that. This just saves having to leave the thing overnight to cure. And yeah, having to wait 24 hours, that's only been 5 minutes, so we'll let that do its business. Just got to clean up the interior, and you don't need to do the bath. We all know what happens there. Toothbrush, actually may not even have to do that. Just looking at it on here in front of me. Okay, so all I've done is just given it a wipe down again with the same cloth. The seats work. So that's all nice and clean. Interior is clean, glass is clean. We'll just get rid of that muck. I've chromed the hubs. The bumpers have been re-chromed. That's the rear bumper. There's my and that's the front bumper. That's the one that we've repaired. So, guess what time it is now? You've all been waiting for it. I know that. You've all been waiting for it. It's stripper time. So, let's see if we can get our girls ready, because it is a bit cool, so they don't want to be out in the cold for too long. So we'll get the hot water ready for them, and we'll see you in a moment. Well, I don't know how well this is going to work, because the two colours that I find are hard to get off are blues and yellows. So I'm just giving the stripper girls a nice rub on their bellies. So let's see how they go with it. And yep, from what I can see, my prediction is correct. And Martin Dare just recently did a video with a a casting that had yellow on it, and he had to do it a few times and even had to go back to the old method of using the paint stripper, like the gel type thing. But we're still getting a reaction, so we'll let's see how that goes. So sometimes what happens is, with the paint, when it meets up with caustic soda, it goes very hard and brittle but may not lift. That might be the case with this particular car. I don't know. Each casting is different. But as you can see, well, you may not see it, but what I see is that the water has yellowed. So it is doing something with the yellow. So I'll let that go for a little while. As you can see, the tailgate is down the bottom here. One of the doors is here. The bonnet's here. And the other door is on the other side here. So we're still getting a small sort of smoking reaction on here, but we'll see how we go in the latter stages. So we won't bore you with just watching little bubbles here, little bubbles there. That's for me to sort out. Sit back, relax. When we come back, you'll see the vehicle in its nudity. Catch you then. As mentioned just a little while ago, that the yellows and blues seem to be the toughest paint to remove. The tailgate itself wasn't too bad. Oops, don't throw it away. We want it. The only place where I had to do a little bit of extra was in where the number plate was, and that's where the decal was. The same thing with the bonnet. You can see that I went the old-fashioned method of just using the end of a screwdriver. Same thing with the doors. But what we're going to do is, with the main casting, as you can see, I've started a little bit here. Instead of dunking it into the paint stripper or putting it into the caustic soda again, we're going to use the wire wheel. So, noise alert, I'll give you a couple of seconds to either mute or to stick your fingers in your ears. As here we go, we're going to turn it on. I think that's enough noise for you guys to listen to. Alright, as you can see, it will take the rest of the paint off. And this, I don't know what brand it is, but we're not getting these aren't flying all over the place. So I'll continue stripping this off camera. When we come back, we'll all be shiny and naked. See you then. Okay, it'll be a while before I use the wire wheel on the Dremel tool again, as now I'm picking out all the wire out of my belly and out of my shirts. So anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to our brass brush here and go over some of the casting again. Now I didn't use the wire wheel on the doors or on the well, I shouldn't say I didn't. In this part here where the hinge is, hang on, I'll get my, excuse me, this part here where the hinge goes in, that's the only place where I used the wire wheel. The rest of it has been using the screwdriver, and now we're just using the brass brush. So we've redone that part of it. Now we need to go over the main casting. Now I'm not worried about the colour in the yellow in here at this stage, as for most of the time it's not going to be seen. But, you know, so we're just doing a clean polish. Now something I did notice as I was going around with the Dremel tool, I don't know whether the camera will pick it up, but just here on the top right hand corner where the guttering around the window, there we go, we might see it just the, see if I can pick it up with the where my screwdriver is, from there to around there, that little quarter is missing. So what I may do is just file it all down so it all matches. It's all part of the detail, or it may have been that it was just dropped on that particular corner, and now that we've stripped it, it has taken it out completely. Anyway, I'll keep going with the brass brush and my other favourite tool at the moment, with this one, to do the polishing up, and we'll come back when it's all done. Alright, we're painting time, and once we've finished the painting, I'm going to have to clear all my disc to find the spring that holds these doors into place. At the moment I'm in place with some Play-Doh so that we can do some painting. Anyway, so let's crack on with the painting and see what sort of a mess I can make. I got it on low setting. I'll change it over to the high. So just let that set for the moment, and I'll fix up those doors, and then we'll go for another coat, but we'll do the rest off camera. The rest of it's going to be the same. So catch you in a moment. Alright, so let's see what sort of a botch job I can do with these homemade decals. So we did some scanning, and we also got some pictures off the internet, and now we're going to attempt to, as I said, attempt before we fold everything up, to get this on. Now we folded it up underneath. We'll try and smooth it out. It ain't gonna happen, I don't think. Let's see if we can. No, we'll just put it back in the water for a moment, just to see if we can't pick it up. No, that totally destroyed. Alright, so that's what happens. It happens. So we'll just move on. I can get that that logo on because I've done a sheet. So we'll get the other piece on. Hopefully that will go better. So we'll just put a bit more water on our bonnet. I've redone the number plate on the front, and I've had some success on the rear. Anyway, we'll just keep going. And to see. There we go. So we'll need to bring that a little bit more to the right. I'll try and bring it around this way so everybody can see. Hopefully I don't have my head in the way. I'm not used to doing things upside down, so I have made the lettering a little bit too big, and I should have gone one. This is done at 7.5 points on the printer. I should have taken it down to 7. I'll just roll it, get some of that air bubbles out. Just make sure that the bonnet opens, and it does. Right, so let's get it. Now you may say, oh, it's not. It's. And I get the bonnet to lie down. Now you may say, oh no, that's not straight. That's how it is curved. If you go back to the original, it does have it curved. So anyway, I'll need to bring that one down a bit. So you've seen how I've done that one, and we'll just carry on with the others. So we'll work on that, and the next part will be reassemble. So let's see if we can't do some reassembly on this. Now I have taken the liberty of doing some things beforehand because it would take too much time. In that we put the tailgate in, we put the glass in, and somewhere along the line we did lose the beacon, but I made another one using the plasti maker. So we have a beacon. So we've got the glass in. We'll gently put that in there. We'll put our cleaned up seats in. Before we do that, we're forgetting things. Dear oh dear. Alright, we need to put our bonnet in because it won't go in after the doors have been in. So the bonnet slips in. Then what should happen is the spring goes in, but I may think it's better that we actually put the doors in first. Get them located. If my fingers will work for me. That's one door sort of in. Here is our other door. And now we put our spring in. So, of course there's a spare top. Whoops. Don't lose the spring. We lost it already once. So let's hope we don't lose it again. We'll just try and sit this door back in. Isn't it the way? You do it off camera, it fits in like nobody's business. Do it on camera and everything falls apart. So I'll do it off camera. Save my embarrassment. Like I said, works a lot better when you do it off camera than what you do on camera. So we have our doors in place. And the spring just fell out again. Okay, let's see if I can get it in this time on camera. So I need to get it in behind the ledge. Oh, oh, I love this hobby. Let's see how many scratches will come out when we're finished. There's a little lip there where the piece has got to go behind. So let's push that in. That seems to be sitting correctly. Doors open, doors close, and as soon as we close the door, the item's fallen out again. So, did I put it in the wrong way? Should that piece be down the bottom? Good question. That's what we're going to try and find out. Oh dear. Something just clicked. And okay, it sits in best with that cutout there. Alright, so we're not. I'm not going to go any further in playing with the doors. I see it does have to go that way because otherwise you won't get the interior in. Or does this go in after the interior? No, the interior is in. So next, come the wheels. Now there is suspension, so that's what we'll do next is, oh dear, see when you're not prepared for anything and everything. So we just lift up the back suspension and we'll try that again. Lift up the rear suspension and get that thing to sit in there. And we'll do the same thing with the front. Get the wheels out to where they respectively should be. Excuse me while I go off camera for a moment. There we go, we now have our wheels in. Now, the rear end here has two little lugs, which will go into the back. Now, our rear bumper should go in. Hang on, we might need to... No, we'll do the rear bumper first. Then we put our lug in. And it's the front bumper that holds it all together. Okie dokie. Alright, so we are now in one piece. So, next part is the reveal. Hip hip hooray! I've actually remembered to take a before video. So this is what the ADAC Volkswagen 1600 Variant, or station wagon in English, look like. This is from Marklin. And this is what she looks like now. So what we've done is we've done a complete strip down, repaint. We have repaired the front bumper. We've re-established number plates. We don't have a spare tyre in there at the moment, but we have an opening bonnet. We put new decals on the side, homemade decals. We've replaced the beacon because through my inattention I have lost it somewhere. But we've made a new beacon with the plastic maker. That's the whole point of getting it. We've cleaned the glass, we've cleaned the interior. The rear opens. We detailed the lights. And yes, I put new number plate on the back. So all in all, I'm quite happy with the vehicle. So that's another road service vehicle that in our stash. So we have one for this to go alongside with the NRMA, which is the New South Wales. And if you see in the background, we also have some new accompaniment with the Volkswagen 411, which replaced the Type 3. This is a station wagon, the Marklin Volkswagen 1600 Variant. So, too many fingers in the way. I'm not thinking well this afternoon. Alright, I'd like to thank the subscribers or the viewers. I'd like to thank everybody. Thank you very much. Now, stay tuned for what's coming up next.